Hello and a warm welcome to the Tamil Nadu Brief Weekend Edition. I'm Sam Daniel. We're at Chennai's Lalit Kala Academy, the venue for Kodu, an art and design exhibition. 26 young artists have showcased their works of art. I'm going to speak to the curator, Aishwarya Manivannan, and a few other artists. Aishwarya, tell me about the theme this year, Kodu or line.
Kodu meaning line in Tamil is not just a shape. It is the primary element of art and design, and it's what we learn first when we begin our art and design journey. It's something so simple yet profound. It can carry so much meaning. It can be a pathway, it can be a boundary, it can be a channel. We all draw lines through our decisions and our choices. And I wanted my students to take something as simple as line. As artists, we spend our entire life trying to develop our line. And here you see 26 young artists between the age group of 14 to 24 who have worked on almost 200 odd artworks, all based on the theme of line. And it is not just about the artworks that are created here, but we are also celebrating 15 years of Maisha Studio. And Kodu or line represents the journey that we have taken over the last 15 years and also a new beginning.
26 young artists. Tell me the kind of variety the exhibition showcases now.
At Kodu, we have drawings, paintings, installations, sculpture, film, photography, animation, design, mixed media work. So it's such an array of not just media and techniques, but also the kind of themes and emotions that the students have worked with in each of their pieces. There have been hand embroidered work, hand beaded work. There have been work where students have involved and interacted with people from the fishermen community at Uru Rolkot people from the local environment as well. So the students, each of them have interpreted line through a lot of different concepts.
When you curate this kind of an exhibition, what's that one signature element you never compromise on?
There are two important aspects that I never compromise on in our events. One would be to have people from a lot of differently abled and special needs communities to be brought in, invited, for them to experience what we have created as well. I think that art and design are great career opportunities for special needs individuals. And over the last 5 days, we've had over 1,800 differently abled people whom we have invited and brought in and facilitated their visit. And it's great to see people from a lot of different age groups even be inspired to take up art and design. The second point is to create experiences for the general public to understand that student work is not amateur. If you see the work here, you will never be able to tell that these have been made by 14, 15-year-olds. We even have a 5-year-old artist, Dhruvan, who has created a work that is profound in its concept and execution as well. So people have to understand that every individual, irrespective of age, is capable of deep thought and inquiry and technical skill as well. And in both these areas, we're breaking barriers and preconceived notions.
Increasingly, there is a focus or thrust by parents to help their children pursue subjects like medicine or engineering. How important is to pursue art?
Art and design are areas, career opportunities that create a very important and intrinsic part of human experience. If you take the homes that we live in, the cars that we drive, the clothes that we wear, the jewelry that we wear, every single product has a designer behind it. And so we are surrounded by design, which makes design such an important part of our experience and an important part of our life as well. And with technology and with research, there's so much happening in the design industry that it is booming like never before. Similarly with art, being in India and coming from the culture and history of our architecture and textiles and jewelry, we have art in our DNA, and it is what creates a very emotional and a sensitive part of our experience. putting both the emotional aspect of it, the aesthetic part, and the technical requirement, both art and design are great industries and great career opportunities for a lot of students to take it up. And over the last few years, it has seen a growing increase of interest as well. And in the last 15 years of my experience, I've seen a huge boost of a lot of different individuals from across the country wanting to take up design and art.
You're also a practitioner of Sumbam, a martial art. How much Sumbam has influenced and impacted your art?
Sumbam itself is just one line. Sumbam is a line. And in Sumbam, line is a very important element that we train, not just with the movement of the weapons, but also the body movement as well. Initially, art and design practice helped me with my Sumbam growth, and later Sumbam has helped me with my art and design practice as well. Not just as an educator, artist and designer, but also as a creative practitioner. The theme of Kodu is also influenced by my Sumbam practice because of the way in which line has its place, and we find line everywhere around us. And that connection between how in a martial art form like Sumbam we draw lines through the weapons translates into art as well. And so the connections and the permutations between all of these become so blurred over the years.
Can art and design be lucrative?
Absolutely, yes. Not just in terms of traditional art as paintings and drawings, but in design, be it architecture, industrial design, product, jewelry. These are all fields that are growing exponentially all over the world. And there is a need for design leaders and innovators and thinkers, which is why with my students, a lot of times the work goes into creating a very strong sense of identity. As coming from Tamil Nadu and India, we have so much of inspiration around us. So when students take their identity with them, add technical skills, conceptual skills, they become great leaders and visionaries in the creative industries, and that is what is needed. And there is a requirement all over the world, especially now with AI and technology coming into the picture. There is even more of a need for great visionaries and ideas. So then we can combine our own sense of identity and ideas along with technology to create magic.
It takes more than a decade for artists like you to get trained, practice to achieve this level of mastery. But you also have artificial intelligence tools now which does this in a jiffy. Is that a worrying trend? How do you look at that?
AI does not worry me. On the other hand, I'm excited about AI and technology. I tend to flaunt any new technology because the opportunities and possibilities that they create are absolutely mind-blowing. However, for young artists and designers who are beginning to develop their foundation skills, I always tell them that it's important to find a balance between developing personal foundation when it comes to technical skills and conceptual skills, and then using AI and technology to push themselves up to a new level altogether. If there is a complete dependence on AI and technology at the learning stage, I feel that a lot of students tend to fall back on building their own skills, and that is a dangerous place to be in. So definitely I am pro AI and technology, but without compromising on an individual's personal foundation skills and skill development as a lifelong process.
Lastly, many say increasingly art is turning elitist. Only those who are rich and affluent can afford training and can also afford that kind of a long time it takes to achieve that kind of a professional status. How do you see that? How do you respond to that?
Majority of the art industry is seen as a very elitist environment. However, I fail to differ from that point of view, because in everything that I have done over more than a decade, we've always worked with people from a lot of different backgrounds, from underprivileged communities, differently abled and special needs individuals as well. I feel that when we think of what we do as an extension of nature, we do not draw boundaries between communities. In the last 5 days, we have had over 1,800 people from differently abled communities being brought in. And the reason why I've invited and I'm facilitating for them to come in is for them to also understand that art and design is a great career opportunity for differently abled. And so now, over the last few years, I see a lot of organizations working within the inclusivity section. We always have a sign language interpreter through all of our events. And these small realizations and changes that we can make as individuals and organizations can all pile up into larger change as well. And definitely art and design, the community and the industry at large has the potential to be a lot more inclusive, and art makes everybody happy. Art brings a smile to a person's face. We all admire and enjoy beauty, and there is no class, caste, creed in art or design.
Savitra, tell me about your work.
My work consists of 6 panels over here, which is all based on emotions that I felt in certain moments of my life. Each a different emotion, one of the main ones that I felt across my high school years. And I like to call this journaling without words, because I can show this to anybody and they will still not know how I felt in that specific moment. And my privacy is secure, and yet I could still show people what I have worked on over here.
What does art mean to you?
Art means myself, basically. I am art, we are all art, everything around me is art, even the smallest things, the smallest lines and dots. So yes, art is everywhere around me, and to me, it is the world.
What's the joy to draw something like this and to showcase in an exhibition?
The joy in showcasing something like this for me is that I showcase a part of myself, and the process in which I started showcasing this is me learning about myself. I have learned so much about me that I did not even know before. And here, presenting it in this gallery today also gives me insights on what other people feel about my work. So it's not only an internal process, but I also get external reviews, which I feel will make me grow as an artist and designer.
So young artists like you, how do you actually market your works of art?
In this process, the way I've marketed my works of art is by telling them the process, the entire process from the beginning till the end, till how we set up and displayed our works.
Nanika, tell me about the theme and how your work connects with the larger theme of lines.
For me, I interpret Kodu as line of action. So line of action is something that's very important in animation. It's all about flow, and it's something that gesture drawings, it's an important element of gesture drawings.
What's the joy of this kind of an artwork for you?
I think art is just an expression of yourself. It's like an extension of you. So it's a way to express yourself, and by expressing yourself, I think it's an important part of your identity as well.
Tell me about this particular work. You make use of wires.
Wire.
And design this.
So I've made my gesture drawings first on paper and designed them. And then after that, I used wire. I used the wire and used pliers as well to shape them. And then after that, I've suspended them on sticks and in the form of a mobile. So gesture drawings, a gesture is something that lasts for a second. It's in constant motion. So I wanted to mimic that same thing or highlight that feature. So I decided to put it on a mobile. Because it's in a mobile, it's constantly in motion and it's constantly rebalancing, which is an aspect about gesture drawings as well.
Do you have any role model, any inspiration?
I think Aishwarya ma'am is like a huge inspiration to me. It's just how she encourages students to think and push themselves, I think.
Your career plan?
Right now, I had a little bit of experience in an animation industry. Right now, I've just taken a break. It's been a month, and I'm just figuring out my next step. But I wanted a creative outlet, so I wanted to do the exhibition.
Atish, tell me about the story of lines in your work.
So, lines. Lines are the most primal element in any artwork. So for me as an artist, every empty canvas is Shiva, formless and ready to be explored, and every line is Shakti, which represents energy, movement and form. So that's what line means to me.
How did you get drawn to art?
So I was born to an artistically inclined family. So my grandmom, aunt and mom are all artists and designers. So I've been an artist ever since I could hold a pencil, and I'm blessed that I can still pursue it even in this day and age. And
Tell me the thrill of your work of art being exhibited. I understand this is your first exhibition,
yeah,
public exhibition.
that's a great question. I really can't put it into words. It's really overwhelming for someone who's been doing art all my life. This is a dream come true. This is every artist's dream. And there are artists more talented than me, more experienced than me, and this is not something everyone gets to do. So I'm really grateful for ma'am for making this happen.
What's special is people have already bought your works of art. That makes it even special.
Definitely. So this is my first time even putting my work out to the public, and for them to connect with it enough to buy it, it's really overwhelming. I really can't put it into words. It's really humbling, I have to say, and touching.
Lastly, do you plan to make art and design a career?
Yeah, definitely. So I say art is for the soul and design is for the people. So design would be the profession aspect of it, and art would be the passion aspect of it.
Rishya, tell me about the larger theme behind your work.
So when ma'am said line, I felt like nature is a very predominant thing which surrounds us. In itself, it's a line which is surrounding us. And also, nature grows, decays, nurtures, and again continues in a line. Unlike humans, it's very persistent and it continues to do it.
You are in school now. What does art mean to you?
For me, art is my way of expressing stories, and like it helps me give creative freedom, and I get to share that with people and also gain knowledge from other people. So
When you express interest towards art, possibly to make it a career, what was the response from your parents?
my parents are very supportive. They support me for whatever I want to do, and they know that I'm really interested in it, and I have that spark. So they are completely fine with it.
Okay, this is your first exhibition. Tell me the kind of time and work that went behind this work of art.
Both of my artworks were made within the past 2 months, and this is my first time doing on such a big size. So it was a lot of work and a lot of planning, but with the help of ma'am, Aishwarya ma'am, I think, it went well.
Just curious, young people like you, how do you plan to sell these? Where do you showcase them besides a platform like this exhibition?
I think now that people are more open to seeing art, and now it's being more like supported by the public itself, Instagram, social media, and also spreading a word in our friends and families, and opening an account and like sharing our pics and like our stories. That is also a way of marketing.
Young artists and the curators speaking to us as Chennai hosts Kodu, an art and design exhibition. Hope you liked it. See you again next week. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.